Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Game Show Studios live tutorial presentation. I'm Travis, runner of Game Show Studio on Etsy. Thanks everybody for tuning in, joining me live. Live chat is open if you got any questions as I go. Today's going to be dedicated to a twofer, the classic Barry and Enright package deal, Tic Tac Dough and the Joker's Wild. Before I get started, I want to again thank everyone for supporting the shop with messages, with purchases, with everything. The last 2 years, I'm very close to getting to 2,000 sales. Thank you to everyone who has purchased something, been patient with me as I do my upgrade, which by and large is finished. Everything in the shop is upgraded, refreshed, with the exception of the two big projects, Game Show Machine and Price is Right. Those will take some time. I'm in the midst of doing Game Show Machine right now, and I am going game by game to tighten everything up, make sure everything is good. Those of you that have purchased Game Show Machine in the past, once this is done, I will give you a download link to get the new one, because it will be enormous. The amount of work that I'm putting into this is basically tripling, if not quadrupling, the size of the machine. It's the same 49 games, but it will be at least 3 times the size. So again, thank everyone for your support, your patience, your messages. I'm just glad I can get to everybody basically at all hours of the day with any technical questions, and that's why these live streams exist. So that way I can go game by game, and hopefully if you do have any questions regarding these games, this live stream will clear up any questions. So let's get started right now with the classic Tic Tac Dough. So as we go to my screen, this is what your folder should look like when you download the package from Etsy, with one major exception. If you download the Mac file, you're not going to see the 4 exe files. If you download the PC, you're not going to see the 4 SWF files. That's basically the only difference. You'll be receiving a folder for games. That is where your category list will go. Again, this game will feature no questions. It will feature a sample pack of pictures for Potluck Picks, or any other visual category that you may want to do. But that is it as far as example gameplays. I'll give you an example stack of categories, an example stack of Potluck Pictures. There are no questions included. The questions and everything you do have to come up with on your own. So in the games folder, I'll just go sort of unit by unit. You see there's one game 0. That's the example file. The Picks folder is where your Potluck Pictures will go. And in the folder for Picks, there will be an individual game number. So in this case, it's game 0 to match what's there. In that folder are all the pictures you're going to need. And in this one, I actually do have base photos included with the actual gameplay photos. The base photos clearly have the longer titles, so like Potluck Pick 1, Prometheus Fountain. It's basically telling me what it is as I'm downloading the pictures. But then I put them on kind of a mat. So you can see that the Prometheus Fountain has sort of a background to it. So when I actually open the screen in the software for, the Potluck Pictures, it's not just that square. There's some background to it to fit the 1920 by 1080 frame. So when doing your Potluck Picks, no matter what your category is, whether it be like movies or spelling or anything like that, there is a file naming convention that I'm using because Potluck Pictures was such a prolific category that they're just all potluck. So depending on how many questions you have in the category, you'll want one graphic for each of the questions. And then if the category happens to land in the center box, you're going to have a different set of questions for the graphic category. So in this case, I have Potluck 1 through Potluck 7. Those are for any outer box questions for Potluck Pictures. And then I've got 2 for the center box, which are named Potluck Center 1 and Potluck Center 2. So if Potluck Pictures does happen to jump into the center and they want to play it, well, it's a 2-part question, so you're going to have probably a different set of photos that will go with a double question. How they come up in gameplay, we'll get to that as I start running through the program. But that is basically, I wanted to show you what your graphics are going to look like as you save them and where to save them to and how to save them. If you have Photoshop or are able to open a PSD file, I do include a base PSD that is to the proper dimensions for what you're going to need. I believe it is still 1920 by 1080 and you're saving it as a JPEG. But it also has the matte background that I use. So if you have a smaller than 1920 by 1080 image, you can just put it on top of the mat, center it up, save it as your Potluck Pictures file. You're good to go. All right. Before we get into operation, let me show you how to build a game file. Because since you are going to be using your own information, your own questions, your own categories, let's start that from the ground up. So the first thing you want to do, and I'm going to use the .exe file since I am on a PC, ttbuilder.exe will launch to this program. You'll have 9 boxes where you can type in your category titles, and then the 9 buttons at the bottom are basically to set any red box categories. So let's go through and set some categories. So let's do the first one, Jack's and John's. Pretty simple. Let's throw potluck pictures in there. Now, I would say probably before October, November, I think is when I upgraded Tic Tac Dough. The font for the categories had a very limited character set. I've gone back through and actually built a brand new font file, so it has a lot of the punctuation, it has numbers, it has ampersands. If you have purchased it previously, I can't remember exactly when the date is. Let's say from yesterday, because it did fix one thing. If you purchased it previous to yesterday and have not received an upgrade, please shoot me an email to gameshowmachine@gmail.com with your Etsy order number, and I will be happy to send you the download link. And also make sure to let me know if you need the PC or the Mac side, and I'll send you the... Actually, no. Both the PC and the Mac are in the same download folder, so just send me your order number, and I will send you the Dropbox link to grab the new version of Tic Tac Dough, the more updated version, I should say. Let's see. So Jackson John's potluck pictures. Let's do a red box. Let's do Seesaw. Probably one of my favorite red boxes. Personal opinion. All right. Television. I can't spell. Let's do... What's another fun one? Names of the 80s. So normally on the show, because of the limitations of an Apple computer, they would have to shorten the name of the category. So in this case, it's going to be geography, but they would only put geog with a period. Everyone knew it was geography. Well, I can actually go beyond that, and if I wanted to even go longer, I can do that as well. It will squash the text. I do try to limit it to 3 lines. I actually do have that noted here, maximum 3 lines per category. So we'll do it like that, so that way it does squash a little bit because of the world's kind of long, but it'll all fit in the box very neatly. And then let's go category 7. Let's do... and there we go. Actually, change this to comic books. Oh, Disney movies, food and drink. Thank you, Josh and Davon, for your additions. Let me change. Comic books is always a good one. I do have a ampersand in there. Yeah, let's do. And then we'll change. Cool. Guys, thank you for your suggestions. Again, I'm not putting any questions in here like this. I'm just building the board to show you how building the board looks like. So I've got the 9 categories set, but Seesaw and Jump In are the special red box categories. So I'll click box 3 to change that one to a red box. Box 8 to change Jump In to a red box. Traditionally, there are no red boxes that land in the center. I have button 5 here just to change it to a red box if I really wanted to. It's probably not going to happen because the program is actually set up to, when you shuffle the categories, a red box will never ever land in the center. So you can't have 9 red box categories or the program will get super confused. So don't do that. But for, in terms of just like starting the program, if you want to put a red box in 5, you can. It just basically matches the category title to the fact that it's a red box. And then when the program shuffles it, it will shuffle it out of the center box. But I'm not going to do that. I do have it in there just for completionist purposes. I don't know why I put it in there. So our 9 categories are set. We'll click compile. It gives you the list of the categories. The tilde character is in there for the program to know that it's a line break. The special punctuation will change to an ASCII code. There are 4 punctuation marks that do that. The ampersand, the plus sign, the percent sign, and the equals. So percent equals ampersand, and percent equals an ampersand and plus sign. Those are the four punctuation marks that will automatically change into ASCII code because those four punctuation marks are code in and of themselves. So if the program sees that, oh, I've got an ampersand here, that tells the program it's the end of the line. So if you see here, so Jack's and John's, there's an ampersand at the end of each at each end of the line. That tells the program those are the limits. That's you're looking at everything in between them. So if this %26, which is the ASCII code for ampersand, if that was an ampersand, that category would show up as category 1 equals Jack's. It would just be Jack's with a space. That's it. So I do have it set up to where it will convert it automatically in those four punctuation marks. The RB1 through 9, if it says 5, that just means it's not going to be a red box. If it says 6, it will be a red box because that is the number of the frame that the program is going to tell that box to go to. If it's 5, it's going to stay blue. If it's 6, it's going to go red. All right, so this will get selected all and copied and into a notepad file just like that. And we will save that to, let's see, it is in Tic Tac Dough. I really should have had this all preset, but that's okay. And we'll save this as game, all lowercase, game X. All right, so that's all set. So our game's built. Now, let's try to run that game, shall we? All right. So this is what your basically your screen is going to look like. Again, traditionally the gray screen is the control panel. That's what you and I are going to be working on today. The other screen is the game screen that will be on your second display, so your TV or projector for your audience, your contestants to see. Anything on the gray screen, again, because I don't have any questions in the software, you're not going to see anything necessarily that's going to be important, except for category titles and pot value. That's basically it. Not until you get to the bonus round. In the bonus round, operator sees absolutely everything. Okay, so let's put in our two player names. We'll just go by the two gentlemen that are in chat right now. So Josh is X and Davion, I hope I'm really pronouncing that correctly, is going to be O. Tic Tac Dough is O. Hollywood Squares is circle. Always remember that. And Game Pack, we'll put in our demo Game Pack X. Click Set Info, if I can get my mouse over to it. Okay, you see on the game screen that X did populate where it says Game Pack. That tells me that the two programs are communicating. We're going to be ready to go. Pardon me. Okay. Once all your information is entered, you've clicked Set Info, you've seen the Game Pack number populate. You'll click Show Open. And Show Open, this button will actually start the theme music, start the animation in the boxes. And then basically at the proper time, if you're going to have a live announcer, you want to pop in the logo and then fly it out. Contestant intro will start that specific cue, so that way you can walk in your contestants with the announcement, with the the announcer speaking over it. It's got that sort of low hum. Let me go through them one at a time. Show Open starts the music playing, and then the animation in the squares, and then pop in the logo, and then when you fly out the logo, once the logo's clear, the music will automatically transition to the end, so that way your host will come out, say his thank yous, whatever, and then the animation in the boxes will just continue going as if your host is standing in front of it. Contestant intro is that basically just a lot of the clapping to bring your contestants in. Now this will play on a loop basically until you go to front game, where the music will end, ready to start the game. So the animation in the boxes has ceased. The music is off. Both players are there. Now we want to see the 9 categories to introduce those. So we'll click Open Board. 9 categories will populate with the sound effect. The only difference between this and the actual show is when you introduce the categories, don't click them, because that will activate the boxes. So you'll basically just read off the 9 categories. Jackson John's, Potluck Pictures, Seesaw, Food and Drink, Names of the 80s, Geography of the World, Comic Books, the Jump In category, and Disney Movies. So see, I didn't click anything. None of the categories are going to highlight. So let's get into a game. We'll click Josh's name first. He will be in control. And that will light up the X podium. The O podium will turn off, signifying to the host X is in control. So they will pick a box, let's say Jackson Johns, that will put $200 in the totalizator because remember, everything in the outer boxes is 200, center box is worth 3. If they are correct, you'll click their X. That will award the box, hit the sound effect, blink the pot with the correct total, and then shuffle the boxes. Category new layout. Once the categories land, the pot will stop flashing and settle. We'll go to Davion for his control. Again, I have no questions, gentlemen. Thank you for at least volunteering your names for the software. I have no questions to give anybody. And in this one, we'll go with Potluck Pictures. Now I'll show you how that works. So I've got 2 windows here, both of which will display the graphics in order. They both start at 0, so they're both going to start blank. Outer box queue, let's put that up 1. You see what I did there? So because I put it in game X, I got those 9 boxes. But in the Potluck Pictures folder, I don't have a game X folder. So you see nothing's coming up. So let's go back and fix that right now in this folder. And we'll go Pix, and I'm actually going to copy and paste that. And we'll just make that game X, just like that. And then that should be all I need to do. So let's see if that worked. Okay, that worked. So because I didn't have the GameX folder, it didn't see anything. Once I created the GameX folder and all the photos were already in it, now the program's going to pick it up. So first graphic is in. So let's see what that graphic is. So we're going to, let's see, open and close the key graphic, which brings, first click brings up the Potluck Picture screen. The second click opens the doors for that question. The third click closes it, fades it out, and let's say Davian got it right. O gets that box, and now we will shuffle. All right, so Josh is back in control, and this time Josh is going to go with the center box since it was his selected category. Disney movies is going to be active. Now remember, center boxes occasionally will have 2 parts. Actually, by rule, they will have at least 2 parts, so you'll get extra time. If you click Think Music, that music will start, and I believe it is about 10 seconds. It was very hard to find a clean clip of that, and that is from a Jim Caldwell episode. So thankfully, between Wink and Jim, they never changed the music or the sound effects. So there was a Jim Caldwell episode I found on YouTube. I was able to peel it clean with no talking, like host didn't speak over it until like the very end after the bell went off, and then I was just able to fade it out. So you get a clean Think Music sound effect in this game. Now, let's say unfortunately they don't get it right. So that would be the buzz. That will clear the box, and it'll clear the box from being active, basically. So I can still click the X, but the program won't know where to put it. So we'll shuffle, change control. Davion's going to go for that center box this time. And we'll play his Think Music. Every time. I just like listening to it, so I'm just going to play it every time I possibly can. Let's say he gets the box, so we'll throw an O up there. Pot's at $700. Now, as you can see, the game screen and the operator screen will show where every X and O is, so that way the operator can follow along if they're not able to see the actual game screen. I'm trying to make everything as close to production quality as possible. So, for instance, let's say if I'm on set, because I do actually work in game shows, though, so you either don't know. If I'm not... Davion, 8 seconds. Thank you. If I'm not able to see what's going on stage, I'm going to go by what's on my screen. This is what I can see. So if I'm not able to see what's going on out front, I can tell you that X has one in the corner. O has two diagonal going for a win, but it will be X's turn now, so we will shuffle. And X is going to try to block with comic books, and it will go swimmingly. We'll shuffle again. Oh, is Davion going to block here? Of course. And we'll shuffle again. Josh back in control. We'll try to block here, and not possible, so we will shuffle again. Okay. So hoping for the different red box. So let's say that jump in category did jump into that box. Okay, go with me. Ideally, you'd have buzzers hooked up. If not, no problem at all. Again, it goes to on my FAQ about buzzers. If you have like buzz paddles with joy to key, it'll work. Any buzzer set that will produce for this game, it's shift 1 and shift 2. So exclamation point and the @ symbol will jump in either X or O. They're active basically at any time, just like that. Sound effect and the animation will hit on screen, but I can clear the jump in on this side so that way that didn't show on the game screen. We'll figure it out later. That might be another bug I have to fix. So shift 1 and shift 2 will activate the jump in, hit the sound effect. I'm not sure why it didn't show up on the game screen, but again, that's something I'm going to look at later. But in this case, it is Seesaw in this red box, and it is active. And let's say Davion just happened to get it. Wins are automatically detected. If the game ever sees 3 in a row going either way, it will hit the win music, sound the lights, flash the pot, do whatever it does for the win. And that's basically the game. Should the game end in a tie, which does happen, because it is Tic Tac Toe, click tie game, and I'll give you 2 options. You can either reset the board with the same categories, keeping the pot where it is. The pot will always remain with whatever value's in the pot. You can either reset the board with the same categories, or if you want new categories, it's basically going to ask you to enter a new game pack. So you set the new game pack. That went a little fast. I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, yeah. Okay. So when you set the new game pack, I believe, I've got a check code for this. I think it's going to ask you to put a number into the totalizator, and it's going to take that. Let's see if that actually works. So we're going to do cat, game 0. I think that's how it works, but I'm not sure. Figure it out later. I've got to go back through my instructions. Tic Tac Dough takes a lot of work, believe it or not. Okay, so I've got to win. That's fine. So let's go to the final round. And we'll go... Once the music plays out, that allows the contestant to walk across. We'll click Game Open. That opens all 9 boxes to their base values for rules explanation. There is no prize music, nothing like that. It is just basically as dirt simple as you could possibly want it. Now this one is very interactive. I'm going to show you just basically what to do. Shuffling the boxes will ready the board for gameplay. And then to open the boxes, you'll just click them one at a time as they're selected. Once the game is over, whether it be a win or a loss, click Reveal All. That shows all 9 boxes. But this time, I'm going to move some stuff around, and I'm going to play a game. So, let's do that. Let's do this. I believe you guys can see that. Fantastic. Okay. Now we're going to get a little interactive. Let's shuffle the boxes. Okay, 9 boxes are ready. You guys can't see them. I can. So here's what we're going to do. Davion, because I used your name pretty aggressively in this game, I'm going to let you go first. Get $1,000 or more, or find Tic and Tac and you win the dough. So pick a box, and we will get started. It's going to go with box number 2. Box number 2 will reveal $250. So not a bad start. $750 to go. You can either walk away, take the money, or pick another box. What do you want to do? Going with box number 4. Box number 4 is going to be $150 more, so $400 in the pot, $600 or Tic and Tac for the win. That is your choice. What would you like to do? Keep going or walk with the money? Also, for anybody interested, I do drink Starbucks about every other day. This is a Trenta Strawberry Acai Refresher with no inclusion and ice in a extra large Java sock. Actually, a large Java sock. An extra large would be entirely too big. Davion's going to go and he's going to pick number 7 down in the bottom left. 7 gives us another 100. So we're limping up on it. You got 500. There is a $500 box up there, so one more box will give you the game. So it is up to you. Take 500 or now again, I'm not giving out any money. Don't don't get that twisted. I don't have the money to give out. This is all for show. So what do you want to do? He's going to pick 9. Number 9, bottom right corner, gives us Tac. So you're halfway to a win twice. So it's either $500 or Tic. Both are up there in a box somewhere. What do you want to do? Dragon is still out there too. He's going to go. He's going to take box number 1. Up in the top left, box number 1 gives us $400. $900 and Tac. Any box will give you the win except the dragon. Don't find the dragon. What do you want to do? Play on? Walk away. You're in the best possible position. You've got a 1 in 4 chance of winning this game. Box number 3. Top right corner. Box number 3 gives us exactly what we didn't want. So that's what a loss looks like. So the dragon's been found. I'll click reveal all. Tic was in the middle. 500 was in 6. 300 was down in box number 8. Any of those would have given you the game. Unfortunately, the dragon popped his ugly green head out. Sadly, no win. But here's the beauty of this. I can reshuffle. Oh, that looks real ugly. I'm going to transfer out and back in. And then we'll shuffle up. That's good. Thank you for having fun, Davion. I appreciate that. Josh, it is your turn. I'm going to let you pick the boxes now. Everything is loaded, ready to go. Pick a box. We'll get started. Also, I'm going to scroll out of shot temporarily. I have something in my teeth. There we go. Okay. Fantastic. A little bit of breakfast. All right. Josh is going to go straight down the heart of the board. Box number 5 in the center gives us Tac, already halfway to a win. Tac is available, or Tic is available. Find the Tic. You've got the Tac. You'll win the dough. What do you want to do? Well, you don't have any money to walk away with, so I'm assuming you're going to want to go again. box number 1. All right. Number 1 gives us $250. You got money in the pot. You have tack on the board. $750 or Tick to win the game. Your choice. What would you like to do? Keep going. Walk with the money. Are you getting help from anyone in the audience? Is your lovely wife with you? It's going to go with box 7. Number 7 will give us the win. Tick and tack, you've got the dough, $1,000 on the board. Now we're going to play Dragon Hunter. Davion, you're back in. You found the dragon very well in the last game. Now's the chance to bullseye where the dragon is. Okay, bullseye's a different show. We'll get to that later. Davion, to you, where is the dragon? 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, or 9? Think he's lazy. He's in number 3. Is he in 3? No, that was 100. He's actually in number 8, bottom center. So he did move ever so slightly. Clover Shroom, sorry, I didn't see anyone else was in the chat. 300 was in 6. So that's how Tic Tac Dough works. Pretty simple, but also like can be involved if you get in the weeds a little bit. And on the back end, I will figure out how to do tiebreakers. I'll throw it in the comments below once I figure out how to do that. And it's also in the PDF instructions. So unfortunately, I can't demonstrate how to do that now. But once I do research it, and it will be in the PDF instructions how to activate a tiebreaker. So let's go back to single shot. Hi, everybody. So it was Tic Tac Dough. And again, this is going to be a 2 for stream. So the next game we're going to do is Joker's Wild, which also has a little bit of a builder aspect to it. And we'll do large. Oh, also for Tic Tac Dough, it does come with both the Wink set and the Jim Caldwell set. Just depending on what set you want to go with. They both act the same. They both function the same. There is no real difference between them, except just the look. So that way there's only one control panel. It will operate both games. Make sure you only have one game program going at a time with the control panel, or else one game program will just not function. All right, let me get these two launched and started. That one, and then we'll do that one, but then we'll go here, we'll kill that, and then here, and okay, we are good to go. So, Joker's Wild is going to be basically the same package. You'll have, this time, 3 Swifts or 3 EXEs, depending on if you get PC or Mac. You'll have a builder, you'll have a control panel, and you'll have the game file. The games folder, again, is where your game stacks are going to go as game with a number attached to it. And then no visual categories in this one, but there are category slides that you'll have to keep an eye out for. Now, I include about 130 of them. So it's about 65 categories or so, but they're doubled because there is a fast forward variant for every category except 1 or 2 specials. I've put in some specific ones. I'm actually also giving you a base PSD file in this one in case you want to create your own category file. Now for these, everything is named very, very succinctly. So for business, it's just business.jpg. If it is fast forward variant, it just adds an underscore capital F after the category name in the file name. So it would be, for this one, it is business, and then the fast forward is fast forward business, but the file name changes ever so slightly. Josh, you're welcome. Hang out. There's going to be a Joker bonus round as well coming up. So yeah, plenty of category titles. And again, if you do want to build your own, if there's something that I didn't put in that you want to put in, as long as you got Photoshop or a way to open a PSD file and edit it and save it as a JPEG, absolutely add your own category files. Okay, so in order to build the stack, it's basically the same as Tic Tac Dough, where you're just putting in category titles. Let's see, that was the Swift that I opened. No, I want the PC version. Doesn't matter, like a PC will open both versions. I just like running the program that I adjusted the icons for. So for this one, what you'll want to do is put in basically the name of the graphic, less the .jpg. You'll just want the basic name. So unfortunately, I don't remember a lot of what I have. So let's do, I know I've got geography. Let's do 60s. Let's do sports, games, grab bag, might as well, and film. And we'll do film as a fast forward. So for this one, once you have the category titles in, you can click each one individually to make sure the correct slide loads in. So geography's fine, swing and 60s is good, sports and games is good, grab bag is good, and then fast forward film. So all those are correct. We're good there. So we'll compile. And this one is just one line of text. So it's going to be a very easy select all and copy. And then we'll open it here. That was game X, so we'll pop that in. And we'll save this one. Let's see, where is Joker's Wild, games, and this is going to be, we'll just do game X for this one as well. So that category is set, or that line of categories is set, so we can close the builder. And to run the program, again, it's run the control panel and the game folder. So this one and this one, which I should already have running. Okay, let me change one thing here. Game screen will have to be this one. Okay. Alrighty then. So we'll... So in the name tag blanks, as in Tic Tac Dough, as well as most of my other software, I did allow basically any length of name, and it will squash to the size of the name tag. So if I wanted to go... I can just go as long as I want, and it will squash to the size of the name tag. But we'll just keep it very simple, and we'll go with that. All right. So game pack 0 is one I've already created previously. You click that, check the categories that load in for that pack. That's great. There's another one I loaded in that was 00. Okay, 5 different ones, and then the one we just made, which is game pack X. Great. So everything loads in. We're going to go with game pack X. We'll click set info. That shouldn't say okay. Interesting. Well, once the program says game pack OK, we know it has the categories. We'll click title screen, and then main theme plays the main theme music. Joker wipe sends that neon animation out, and then puts in the title animation. Category reveal. This opens up the screen and shows all 5 categories at once. So we'll open the screen. Music will start playing, and it will show all 5 categories at once instead of showing them one at a time. You'll just see all 5 at once because it's uploading or inloading the graphics from outside instead of being flat graphics already. Category music times out automatically after about 10 to 15 seconds. Gives enough time to actually say what the category titles are and then move on from there. Click front game, moves on to gameplay. So we'll put one player in control. Scores already start at 0. Davion is in control. And this is also where buzzers come in. You can use the same two buttons, Shift 1 and Shift 2, so exclamation point or @ symbol. That will activate the reels for that specific player. It actually doesn't matter who's in control, and if you want to have like a third button that's just a general spin, you can have that one as well. But in order to score a player, they have to be in control. So I've put Davion in control right now just by clicking control here, and then he will spin. Okay, everything is unique, so we'll click 50 because each category will be worth $50. The control panel will show all three at once, depending on what is spun up. The game screen will spin them in as normal. So the spin animation will show, and then they'll pop in once the sound effect gets to that point. Control panel will see everything all at once. So we'll, if we want to play Swinging 60s, we'll click that one to light it up, and we'll kill the other two, which sends them dark on the game screen. Let's say they're correct, so we'll click score. Clears the reels on the control panel side, clears control, so we'll move control, clear the reels one more time, or we'll clear, pass control, and then spin. Joker, geography, and grab bag. So this one will be a pair, and we'll do a pair for geography, so we'll kill the third one, and then pairs are worth 100. Fortunately, that doesn't automatically populate, so it will have to be manually clicked in, either 50, 100, 200. And then we'll score this one. And then clear, control, and spin. I didn't intend for it to go in order with single, double, triple. It just seems to be going that way, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So this one will be a triple if they want to play sports and games. So we'll make that this, and then 200 in the pot for that one. But this one is a stumble, so this one is a buzz. Now we'll just sound the buzzer, we'll shift control, and if that player is correct, then we score it. So we'll clear, and control, and spin. Geography, joker, and triple. So we'll do that one. And this one is worth 200. And then, unfortunately, we'll buzz this one, pass control, score that one. So clear, control, and spin. Geography's coming up an awful lot. So this time we're going to go off the board. So we're going to kill geography. So the two jokers are going to be worth $100. They'll play a different category. Score that one. Clear, control, spin. Joker. Perfect. 3 jokers. Automatic win. So we'll click 3 jokers. It will show 500 in the pot on the game screen because it is worth a $500 win. But on the operator side, it's the difference between 500 and what the player has. So if the player is already at 3, as Josh is, it will be worth 200 here, while the game screen says 500. And then if this is scored, wins are not automatically detected because players get an even number of turns. But if this does happen like this, click win. It sounds the win cue and flashes the winner's podium, meaning that player is going to get 500 and play the bonus. Alright, so game operation, reasonably simple. In case there is any kind of scoring issue that you would have to do, put the necessary amount into the top, whether it be 50, 100, 200, and then add or subtract from there as such, and it will update on the game screen as you update in the control panel. If fast forward had come up, so okay. So fast forward, this creates a separate bank, basically. So you can put 200 in here, so let's say it's a triple fast forward. Anytime they get one right, you'll add it to the bank. and add it to the bank. And then whoever wins it, you click player 1 win or player 2 win, or you clear the bank because they're out of the category. That clears it and then resets it. So fast forward scores a different way than regular categories because they can keep going. Basically, it's a bullseye contract. For those of you unfamiliar with the show, fast forward acts as basically an infinite number you can play. If you got $50 a question in a fast forward category and you answer 10 questions correctly, you've won the game. It's basically like that. It's basically the express wedge. You can just keep going. So it scores a little differently. There's a different functionality to it. That's all explained in the PDF as well. But now it's time to face the devil. So for this one, board zooms in a little bit because the focus is now just the 3 reels instead of player score. The front game, you're zoomed out a little bit because you want the 2 player scores and the 3 windows, and it's also the limitations of the graphics being loaded in. I wanted to keep those as clear as possible. So we'll actually keep it in this look because there's nothing secret that needs to be held. And Josh, since I actually declared you the winner, we're going to have you spin first. And I will just click spin on this side. And just tell me if you want to keep going or stop. Here's your first spin. 25, 100, 225. And I'm actually going to do this. Like that. I'm going to do screen display like that. And then this one I'm going to move over so that way you can see the windows and nothing else. So 225, do you want to keep going or do you want to stop with the money? Remember, there is a devil in one of these windows. If he pops up, then, and let me say this, there's a devil in at least one of these windows. I've had instances where he does pop up multiple times. And I believe that's probably a bug I didn't fix because there's a hack I put in. Remember, natural triple wins the game. And this has happened before where I've had a natural triple on devils. It has still won the game. So I left that in. All right, Josh, you're going to keep going. Here's what I've got for you. 200, 25, and 50. 500, you're halfway to a win. You can either walk away or you can keep going. There is no cash. There is no prize package. This is just for pride. You won the last game of Tic Tac Dough. Are you going to win this one too? So keep going or walk away with the money. What do you want to do? Going to keep going again. Here we go. 150, 175. So you're up to 825. Technically, there is a way to still have another spin. If you get a lot, if you get 20, 25, 25, 50, you're going to have to spin again. Or at least try to make that decision because that's only going to be $100. But you're at 825. You can keep going one more time. You can walk with the money. $1,000 is the win, and wins are automatically detected. So if the jackpot gets over $1,000, win music will hit, jackpot will flash as it normally should. Or the reels will flash. I don't think the jackpot flashes. I really wish I could remember my coding off the top of my head, and I just can't. So Josh, it's up to you. 825, walk or keep going. Davion, thank you. Somebody who has the software and has tested. It's for fun. He's going to keep going. So let's see what happens. 200, 150, and a 50, and that is the game. 1325 is the win on that one. So in the control panel window, I'll just slide this over here because we're going to do this again with Davion and give him another chance to actually win a bonus round. I've got a button over here that says Devil Free Guarantee. So just in case you want to restart the game, or if the player happens to spin a devil on their first spin out of the gate, you can give them the Devil Free Guarantee and it resets the round. You can actually start at 0, reshuffle the devil in, and restart the game, which is exactly what we are going to do right now for Davion. So it is up to you, sir, after I give you the first spin. Just 200, 200, and 100. So, Davion, you're already halfway to a win. You're welcome. What do you want to do? Do you want to walk away, or do you want to keep going? You're at currently at 500. You are halfway home. He's going to spin. Let's see what happens. 200, 25, 150, 875. So you got up there a little bit faster than Josh did. 875. No devils have come up yet today. Now, I don't know where he lives. I don't know where he is. He might bring his brothers. It's hard to tell. Do you want to walk with 875 or keep going? It's going to go again. Let's see what happens. 50, 150, and 100 is the win at 1175. So, this must be a new version because the jackpot is not flashing, but that's okay because the reels are flashing and that's the important part. Both of you won. I wish I had money to give you. I don't, but thanks for playing along. So Joker's Wild, very easy to use, very simple interface. And as we were going, I did a test, and buttons 1, 2, and 3 all work to spin the reels, at least in the final round. So if you have buttons set up, or if you set up some sort of like arcade stick that will still trigger the necessary keystrokes, it will still spin the wheels for you. I think that's about it. That's all I've got really for those two games. Got nothing else really to chat about. Now I'll go back through Tic Tac Dough a little bit later, check those instructions. But again, the PDF does spell out all the operation instructions for both of my games, or for every game. There is a PDF of operating instructions. That's basically it for this. The next one that I do is probably going to be next week at some point. Probably not during the week, maybe on the weekend, depending on what my work schedule looks like. But it looks like the next one I'm going to do is either going to be Wheel of Fortune or Press Your Luck. Probably going to be Press, because I feel like that could get exciting. So yeah, let's do that. So the next time we meet on a live stream tutorial is going to be for Press Your Luck, and that will have some fun with everybody, because I'm going to actively have people play along. So make sure you come back in then. Stay tuned to my Instagram and my threads for more information about when that's going to happen. Any questions that you have, get me on Instagram, get me on threads, you can send me an email to gameshowmachine@gmail.com. Feel free to message me inside the Etsy shop. There are a couple of new games in development right now. One is British, one is American Classic. That one's probably not going to come out till later in the year. But the British one that I have coming out should be hopefully done by mid-February. I'm not going to say anything about the title, but I will say it is. It does feature a lot of triangles, in this British format. That's all I'm going to say now. Everybody kind of think about what that is, and hopefully that'll be in the shop by middle of next month. As it stands right now, I'm going to sign off for now. Thank you all for joining me on this live stream tutorial for Joker's Wild and Tic Tac Dough, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for playing.